Hi, I'm Sharon Knight, and I am checking in with you for our regular meeting Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 3 o'clock. I am from Hope Communities, which is a nonprofit that provides housing, educational programs, and support services for folks across the Denver metro area. And we've always wanted to build community throughout the whole 40 years that we've been here. And so that's part of why we're checking in now, because we know some people are feeling a little isolated while in quarantine. And even as we start to move a little bit away from that, there are still many, many people who are staying in their homes. And we want you to know that you are not alone. So we chose this format of Facebook Live so that a lot of people could access the shows that we're providing, and also because there's a chat feature. There is the ability to write to us. At the bottom of your screen, there should be an area that you could do some kind of a chat communication with us. You can write your name if you're holding in there with us today, or you can always add some information later if you watch this video after it has been live. So we try to provide information about the virus, but also sometimes ideas, sometimes insights, sometimes inspiration to help you get through this time. Now, we all know that the governor has said that we are in safer at home mode versus stay at home mode. The mayor of Denver, and most of the people listening probably are from Denver right now. The mayor of Denver has extended the stay-at-home order for us in the metro area until May 8th. However, at the end of last week, he also did say that starting May 6th, that everyone, which is Wednesday, that everyone should be wearing a mask when they are outside, and particularly when they are in areas where other people could be convening. So things are not back to normal. It is really important to have the masks that are there. There are many businesses that will require masks. The airport, for instance, requires masks. So if you don't have one, this is really the time to get one. They are easy to make. I think I've talked about one using a bandana where you fold it inward twice, put rubber bands on the end, and then you put the rubber bands around your ears. Very, very easy to make, and if anybody has questions, we can help them with that. There are also a lot of masks out there now available for people. We actually have gotten some for our residents and clients and staff. So if you are listening and you need some masks, that people have been very generous in helping us to get masks so that we can share them with you. So please let us know, and we will help you to get the equipment, which this basically is, to help keep you safe, but also to keep other people safe. So, of course, if you are sick, you should be in quarantine. You should quarantine yourself and stay away from other people in the community and even in your own household if you can, so that we help to stop the spread of this terrible disease. Colorado has done pretty darn well because we did jump right on the stay-at-home orders pretty quickly, but we don't want there to be another spike. So it really comes down to you, what you do and what the people around you do to try to ward this thing off. So I can see that Gwen and Tom have signed on. Of course, not everybody does sign on who's listening, but it's nice to see you too. And I want people to know now, or if you watch this later on, that you can always send questions to us at info@hopecommunities.org. And we do have a lot of information on our website, that is hopecommunities.org. On Friday, I did a cooking show, for instance, and we're putting some of the recipes from that day on our website. So it's a wealth of information if you want to figure out anything about housing or resources in the community. We really can help you out if you just check out the website. So I think that I want to remind people that this week today is when we at Hope Communities have started to have more people on site. And this is our easing in. We've been an essential business, so we have had people on the properties who are available to help you with specific issues, even though we have tried to do a lot of that work remotely. But we do have more people on site now. It is not back to normal, though. I want everyone to know, and if you are not associated directly with Hope, I think these strategies are something that you could use in your own business or in your own environment. We will only see people one-on-one, clients one-on-one, and by appointment. When people come into our office, it's only going to be one staff member and one client in that specific office, even though we'll have other people in the area. We like to do that for joint coverage and for safety. But when people come into the office, they'll also be asked to wear a mask. And if they don't have one, we can give them one. And potentially to wear gloves. So if not gloves, we're going to have sanitizer right there. We want people to use the sanitizer. We do realize that many people will still work remotely, and we have come up with some pretty innovative ideas to help people to get the service they need, even if they can't be in the same room with us. So I want you to know we are always there for people who need help, whether they live at a Hope property or in the surrounding community. But we just have some new strategies for how we'll work with you. And we also are not holding any of our group activities or classes, and that is certainly sad for us because we love to see you and we love to bring people together. But for a while, we're still going to have to hold off on that. We are coming up with some great ideas to be able to provide classes from afar. And I know it's not exactly the same thing, but we're doing the best we can to make sure that as many people as possible get the support they need. We also have been calling every resident, and we're really helping a lot with emergency situations, with accessing emergency rent, with finding work or signing up for unemployment, and certainly getting food. We have our own food service. We are making distributions to families, leaving food packages at their home, actually, on Wednesday evenings at Hidden Brook and then Thursdays at the other sites. So let us know if you need some support, because we certainly want to be there for you. We are doing everything that we can to stop the increase of the virus. And, we're already up to 842 deaths across the state. And we know that we've slowed this way down, and it's been really great. But I only mention that number to keep reminding people that this is really serious business. And in fact, I think most of us know someone who's been sick, and some of us know someone who has passed away as a result of this virus. So even though it continues to be a challenge, I think it's important to hang in there. So please try to hang in there. If there's something we can do to make it easier, let us know. I usually do a quote for the day, and here is my quote today from Brian Tracy. Develop an attitude of gratitude and give thanks for everything that happens to you, knowing that every step forward is a step towards achieving something bigger and better than your current situation. And certainly we know that this pandemic will incredibly impact our lives. We probably don't know all the ramifications or what it will do, but I've got to think that one thing that will happen is that we will be able to develop parts of ourselves that we haven't developed in the past. And so it's a time to really appreciate what we do have, even if that is our continued health. That's a really important thing to feel gratitude for. And to just dwell on that occasionally during the day, so that we're not always thinking about the things that have been taken away from us because of this virus. We will get through it. We'll get through it together. So, besides the worry that's come just because we don't know what's going to happen with this virus, and the sadness that's come or the loneliness that's come because we are isolated from our friends. There's also this sense of loss or grief because at this time of year, for instance, there are lots of different benchmarks and celebrations and things that normally happen, and we're trying to figure out how in the world do we still celebrate those things. Not everybody thinks about celebration at this time. And so one of the things I'm going to focus on today, somewhat like when I did the good news, is to talk about ways that we can celebrate the good things that are happening around us or in our lives at this point. So some of the things that I'll mention do have a cost to them, but many have very low cost. And truthfully, I think some of the most special things in our life don't have a cost at all except for time and attention. So I will be able to share some of those too. I mean, I think things like if you have a kid's birthday, having all of their favorite foods, letting them sit in the favorite chair of one of their parents, letting them stay up as long as they want, doing something that is out of the ordinary and really special specifically for the day leaves a lasting impression. And at a time like this, be a little generous with things like bedtime if that's really going to make your kid feel better. And I think some of those things also work for adults. But let me go through some certain occasions that we might be celebrating around now and share some ideas about things that we could do. So prom was one that was really brought up by lots of people in social media. And it's one of those iconic moments, especially for seniors, I think, of the school year so that people feel really special. And so what can we do as parents, for instance, to help our kids feel that excitement of prom? So some parents have gone as far as to get decorations, either buying decorations or to use decorations they've had around the house, but maybe use them in a different way, to set a theme like you have at proms, to have everybody dress up, because if you were going to prom, you probably already had an idea of what you were wearing before this started, maybe to play the music that would be appropriate, to have a really special dinner, like a lot of kids go to a special dinner beforehand. And if your kids were some of those who want to go as a group, you can conference people in and you can all have the same special dinner at your respective homes and share that time together and just laugh and have fun. It's not exactly the same, but you can still make something special out of it. Graduation is another thing. Some parents have set up like yard signs to say why they're proud of their kids for graduating. There are signs in windows. There's things on social media talking about how proud parents are, or the career path that someone's going on after graduation, but making a big deal of it. My neighbor has a daughter graduating from college in a couple of weeks, and so what they're going to do, they've been fixing up their backyard. They're going to have all their friends come with caps and gowns, either that they have saved over the course of time, or they're going to come up with some kind of costume for that. They're going to have a podium. They're going to have speakers, even speakers who might be giving inspirational messages to the graduates. And then just having some kind of a ceremony where someone will get their diploma. So just trying to emulate some of the iconic moments from the graduation in their backyard. So they've been making it look really nice. I think it'll be a really great setting. It won't have 1,000 people like some of the college graduations, but it will be really fun. And one of the things that parents are doing, especially I think with younger kids who are graduating, maybe from 6th grade or from even sometimes middle school, depending on when that is, So they're doing like a little bridge where people can walk over the bridge and then kind of walk into the next chapter of their life. So for birthdays, kids, there's been some talk about drive-by celebrations when the kids' friends who would have normally come to a birthday party drive by with their parents in their car, and they hang out the window, and of course they're going slowly, to wish the kids happy birthday, and sometimes they leave things together. I think leave things together on the porch or at the doorstep of the kids so they can pick them up later when they can actually get out and start gathering things. I think having a virtual sleepover would be a lot of fun. You can use kind of a conference video for that or FaceTime, but you could have kids set up a tent or a fort. They could have sleeping bags, popcorn and snacks. You can even deliver some of the snacks or food that you might have had for a birthday party. It could be really fun to kind of share some of that. I mean, even if you're teleconferencing and kids are telling spooky stories or something, and we used to do that at birthday parties or sleepovers. So, doing something like that, and again, it's not the same, but you can still be silly from afar if you're doing something like that. You could have everybody send print cards. So many people never see a printed birthday card anymore. You could also do e-cards, flood your kid's computer with e-cards so they have things to go through. Having your family or your friends make an ornament of a special time that the kid having the birthday reminded them of, that would be really fun. Different types of ornaments. It's the type of thing that kids might save literally for the rest of their lives. But it'd be fun to have this package arrive that was an ornament or something that everybody was baking and that told a little story about why they were getting this particular thing. And then you could share that either in a PowerPoint or in a conference call too. So it'd be just really, really fun. And then getting a care package that actually comes in the mail or is dropped off at the doorstep that has lots of things to open so that you can really take time and have individualized little treats. They don't have to be expensive things, but it's just fun to open things. And so especially if the kids are believing like they're going to be a little left out. So for adults, you can do some similar things, and I've seen some of those recently. Setting up a conference call where everybody who's in the adult group of friends is going to make a special meal, maybe a similar meal. There might be a theme, like we're all going to make Mexican food or we're all going to make Thai food. And everybody makes something, and then you're eating together and talking together. And it just is kind of a fun collegial time to make sure that there's a personal connection there. Sometimes you could have a party package delivered to you. So maybe there's a bottle of wine or something special, some kind of food or pairing that your friends would like, and then have a conference call where you're opening those gifts. So, and sometimes I had one friend in my neighborhood who was promoting his wife's birthday on social media and said, her birthday's on Tuesday. Could you drive by and here's some things she likes. If you would like to drop these things off, it would be great. So we had lots of people who were driving by and dropping off little tokens. Again, he specified we're going to do this between 4 and 6 so that people were around, and just, again, to make it a moment that will live in her memory for a long, long time. So I think also sharing personal photos or personal memories to make a slideshow. So you could have people send things in all at one time, and you can kind of look at them together because you can share screens like in Zoom call or something like that. But you could also have people send some things ahead of time. So my friend, for instance, who was doing social media for his wife, if he got pictures and cards and music and special written memories ahead of time, he could make a slideshow for her that then she and everybody else could experience on her birthday at a certain time. So it'd be, again, one of those things that you save maybe for the rest of your life. So, and then you could do a theme party from afar. People could dress up. They could eat certain food. They could listen to certain music. You could, if you were born in 1965, you could have music from that time playing. I mean, you could do just a lot of fun stuff like that. Let's think about a retirement party. Everybody from an office could do the similar thing where they could talk about a memory or send a video, or gosh, depending on how old it is, they might even sound like a VHS. So send something that would, hopefully not an 8-track, but they could send something, and then you could shower that, all of those messages and pictures and music things all together for somebody. Now, one of the things that has happened for people who are in retirement homes, but I think it would be a great thing for a retirement party itself, is to have a parade of cars. So they've had some parades recently where people actually decorate their cars like a float. And so there might be signs, there might be music, there might be cheering, and they slowly go by. And it could be that they've got pictures of when someone first joined the company, with probably a strange haircut or whatever. And so, you have these different memorial things that are happening, but people just go out of their way to make it more special. Also, a progressive concert. That was one of the things that happened at a retirement home recently, and you could certainly do that with people from the office or in the neighborhood who slowly went by to play different music. Either they're playing it from music that they have recorded, or if you happen to work with people who are musicians, that would be awesome to have live music. So if you had an anniversary, you could recreate your favorite restaurant or a place that you had some good memories in. So I've heard of some people doing that where they've got the similar tablecloths, they've got similar lighting, they make food that is the favorite thing that people had for their anniversary. And so it's just trying to recreate the mood, trying to recreate some very, very good times in the past, and keeping up and helping people not miss what they might have done. Now, for an anniversary, if you want to go way out, you could always propose again. You could write a poem about things that you still love about the person, and then some people have been posting things like that on social media. I talked to somebody who attended a wedding online. So some people are canceling their weddings, but this was a really cool wedding that was done over Zoom, and everybody dressed up. Everybody had a part in the wedding to play. The minister married the couple, and everybody could see that in real time happening. They had speakers and toasts and things like that that were all scheduled. And so it was really very special. So the people that I know who attended it just thought it was great. And you could even if you had the time and you were of mind to do so, you could actually send things like cupcakes or some of the appetizers that you were planning to have at the wedding. Kind of depends how far away you are and all of that, but you could do some of that to recreate in the actual homes the things that they might have experienced, even maybe some of the music and the dancing at the reception. So really making it super special. And then you have a recording of it as well, which is always really great. So if you planned a vacation with your family, you can do a virtual vacation now. There's so many places that have tours. So there's tours of the Great Wall of China, of different national parks. There's places all over the world that have virtual tours now. So if you had a family vacation planned, you can either experience those things together by going online together, or if some people in your family are not really great with technology, you as maybe someone who does have more skill, could pull those things together and send a slideshow to people so you could walk through it together. Not quite the same, but you could even, let's say if you were doing a summer vacation, you could even send people a little care package with sunglasses and sunscreen and regional food or tickets to an activity. And if you were doing something like going to Disney World, well, maybe you could get tickets for 2021 for Disney World. So just different things to bring that family vacation to life now. And then, some of what we want to do is have connectedness right now. And so there's some fun things just to consider. I've heard of and some I haven't yet. But folding up, if you live in a cul-de-sac or if you live on a street that's close together, to have people have folding chairs at least 6 feet apart all around the cul-de-sac or on either sides of the street, and then just catch up. I mean, just make a time where you're going to come together and catch up. One person that I heard of made a lot of cloth masks and she hung them on a tree and called it a giving tree so that anybody in her neighborhood who needed a mask could just come and take it. So she didn't need a lot of anything back. She just wanted to do it to help others. So she didn't even care who took it, just people from the neighborhood. There was a college student who took the mask idea a little step forward. And I don't know if you know anybody in this circumstance, but the young man put a plastic insert in the cloth mask itself because he knew people who use sign language and also read lips. And so he really thought it was important that people around them saw their mouth and that the people, if he was looking, that he could see people's mouth talking to him. So that was kind of a cool and very customized idea to make the people around him feel like they mattered, that they really were important to them. Now, one of the other things that I think about that you could do that takes time, it doesn't take a lot of technology or money, that helps people to feel like they matter is, take this time maybe to call your relatives, call your friends, talk to people you work with and interview them. Figure out what was their life like, jot it all down. People like to know that we care enough about them to learn about them. And so if you're interviewing them, who knows? I mean, later on you could write a book or something like that, but it's just a very caring thing to do to try to get to know someone on a personal level that you may not have known before. You could also, if you have connections, you could bring music and do a concert in your neighborhood. That is just central so people can hear it. You could also pick, if you have a group of friends in your neighborhood, you could pick a play or a movie and everybody could take a part and you can act out the play or a movie in your neighborhood outside from afar. It'll be kind of funny probably because you can't do any of the close scenes together, but it could just be a fun thing that everybody did. Or you could do a chalk festival. So if somebody went out and measured off different areas for people to create art in, you could do that and then you could have people walk by and look at that. So there's just tons of ideas out there. I know this is not, it's not rocket science. It's just really reaching out from the heart to help people get through this time and to help people feel seen and heard and appreciated. So if there are certain things like that you know of that I didn't mention, because I'm sure there's lots of great ideas out there, let us know, because then we can share them with other people. So if we can lift everybody up, our community is going to be stronger, it's going to be more resilient. We're going to get through this together in an even better way than we are right now. So I'm going to close out today with a review of a book. This is a review of a James Patterson book called The Chef. So the book was written in collaboration with Max DeLallo. It's a fast-paced mystery, a murder mystery that's entertaining. It's very easy to read. It features Caleb Rooney, who is a former homicide detective who happens to be a local celebrity in New Orleans, best known for his food truck called the Killer Chef. And people line up around the block to try to get his food. And not everyone understands that he also had that homicide experience. And some people do, and they strike out against him. His former colleagues at the police station reach out to him because there are some very dangerous allegations going on, and there's a threat to the city that he is called in to help to investigate. So we will have a preview of that book, The Chef by James Patterson, up on our Facebook page a little bit later today. I hope that you have a wonderful week, that you can incorporate some of these fun ideas that we talked about today, either now or for a special celebration that is in your future very soon and close to now. So take care of yourself. Let us know if you need anything by emailing at info@hopecommunities.org or checking out our website. Thank you so much. Bye.